So welcome back to my kitchen garden. Today I'm going to be concentrating on my potato buckets because we're getting close to that season now where we start to plant them out. So my first task is to empty each of the buckets, sift through them to make sure I haven't got any vine weevil grubs, and then I'm going to add new compost, that'd be 50-50, and some blood, fish and bone to actually rejuvenate that compost, put it back in the buckets, and then my intention is to put them all along here. Normally they're up by the patio area, but that does get quite a bit of shade late afternoon as the sun goes over, so this will be a much sunnier spot which will be better for them. So I've got these trays that I'm going to put down. I'll show you why I'm going to put those down. One, it actually will capture any water that runs through the buckets, so those buckets can take that back up again. It also catch the rain. But I've got a slab here which I'll show you in a minute. It had a bucket on here for my carrots, and you can see that the bottom is full of worm casts and mucky, so that's going to happen with these buckets, and I don't want that happening to my gravel. I want to keep my gravel clean, so that's why I'm putting the trays down. So without me waffling anymore, I better crack on. Oh, I apologise for all the background noise. The builders just really have been making a lot of noise again. But this is the first bucket, so let's see what's in here. It's very, very wet, and it's got worms, so that's great. I'm going to keep them in there because they can help to aerate the soil and break down the new compost. Oh, and if you're watching Ali and Trish, I cannot stand worms, they give me the creeps, but this is being quite brave. But I do want to encourage them. I'm going to add some blood, fish and bone and some new compost, mix it all together and put it back in the pot. Give that a good mix. Now, I don't want to fill them right up. I'm only going to fill them up about 4 inches, because that's where the seed potatoes are going to sit, and then I shall top them right up once they're sown. So any compost left over I'm going to be putting back in the bags, and I'll put that to one side, and then I can use them to top it up later. So I've just had to rethink my plan. I do want the buckets to go there, but there's no point putting the trays there because they're 30-litre buckets and I can only get 2 to a tray, when I thought I might be able to get 3, because I'm going to have 6 buckets along there, so they're going to have to go directly on the gravel, which is a bit of a pain. Yeah, I can fit more in that way, so that's where they're going to have to go. So there you have it, 6 buckets. The soil is only 4 inches deep, so in a couple of weeks I can put the seed potatoes in and then top them right up, and I think they'll be happy there. Well, I would never make a successful quantity surveyor because I ended up with so much soil in the wheelbarrow. I managed to fill 1 bag, but I only had 1 empty bag that I could use, so I had all this soil left over, and I've still got 4 more containers to tip out and salt. So I thought, what am I going to do with all this soil? So I've actually put it on a couple of the beds. They were full of worms, and that's great for the beds because they've got plenty of material to work on. And I'm going to have a break now. I need to learn how to pace myself, to rest this knee. I don't want to push it too much. So I'm going to have my lunch now. I'm going to have a break for about an hour, and then I will carry on. Well, I have finished for today. So I've done all those potato buckets as you saw earlier. I've topped up all these containers with some of the excess compost. These 2 pots have been topped up as well. But what I'm particularly pleased about is there was enough for me to give the rose and rhubarb a thick layer of mulch. That was in desperate need, and that hopefully will do it some real good this spring, because it's come out of dormancy now and it's starting to put on lots of new growth. So I'm really pleased that I managed to get that job done, and I know now that in a few weeks' time that compost is going to be rich in nutrients and ready to support my potatoes in the early stages of their growth. As they start to develop, then I can feed them once a fortnight with a tomato feed. But I'm really excited. The season is creeping up on us now. It is the first day of spring today. So traditionally we sow our potatoes, if you want to follow traditions, you sow your potatoes on Good Friday, which is just over a week's time. I traditionally sow my potatoes the last week of March, so that fits in perfectly. We are, I believe, zone 7 or 8. I'm in East Anglia. So I think it's time now for a well-earned coffee. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more gardening tips, tricks and ideas. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. I'm Annie and this is my kitchen garden.